Hello everyone, this is my Barriers to Web 2.0 assignment for Module 5. You'll have to forgive my voice. My 2-year-old had a cold last week, and well, I have it this week. So I'm going to try and get through this without coughing. So first I reviewed the articles that we were to read. In the first article I split into barriers and then the support that technology provided to school. And the biggest thing with the barriers was that there are schools that have plenty of technology and parents and students want to attend or want their student to attend those schools, and the students or the schools that lack the technology skills, they lack it because the improvement, the resources, the funding, and then the overall buy-in of the staff seems to be a bit slower than the schools that are on the cutting edge. But the article also talked about the support that technology brings to the school, and one of the major ones is that it identifies achievement gaps, and it also helps bridge gaps by providing more resources, which then creates an educational community, which then helps prepare students for their college and careers. Next was 7 common barriers that make schools lack adopting technology. And the first being that they're not looking far enough into the future and not preparing themselves for what's about to come. We have a lot of teachers who aren't ready to switch their units and structure in the role of a teacher. We also have a problem in our society with funding for this technology, and then helping students who may not be exposed to technology because of their own socioeconomic status. And then also, if a teacher wants to implement technology, there isn't any motivation for those teachers to put in extra work. And then just the lack of the funds, and then the balance of what you're covering with curriculum and what you're using for technology. And then on top of that, dealing with the funding and technology, our personnel to help if anything breaks or needs some support. The next article is on the geographical barriers that are in the United States, which I thought was really interesting. And it depends on where you live in the United States and kind of the access that you have to technology in your classroom. And that goes with financial and then just overall geographic, where your school is located. And then the article also touched on how this idea of technology is growing in the political arena as well, and politicians are discussing the advantages in how to implement more technology in the classroom. And they compared it to electricity and water and how people have access to that and how they should have access to technology and the internet, which then the article then touched on kind of some nonprofit and some ways that schools are finding more affordable technology for their classroom. The next article talked about the resources that last article talked about, as far as free access to curriculum and resources online. The biggest thing with this was that there seemed to have been a war between the commercial content and the free content, and that the commercial content had more resources, obviously because it had more funding, but you had to pay for it. And so that was the biggest piece for the argument for having the commercial content. Also, the article brought out an idea that teachers don't have enough time to balance and look at free resources and the resources that the school has bought. And so there was just a problem with all the time that educators had to spend on expanding their curriculum. But what it did say was that these free resources allows for teachers to collaborate and connect with one another over the internet. The video that we watched, I divided it into 2 categories, elementary school and secondary school. And the woman talked mostly about how elementary school is the easiest place to start adopting technology, And in our school, that's exactly what happened. And it's because the teacher is with the same students all day. So the risk reward for implementing technology, they get to interact with the same set of students all day long. So it's worth the investment. As far as secondary, you only get to see the students for a shorter period of time. And then if you're on a block day, you may not see them for a day or two. And so the idea of implementing that technology in the classroom definitely has some barriers and is kind of risky when it comes to your overall educational philosophy. And then future building administrator, how I responded to those questions. First, I would say that how I would get technology in the school is a challenge because our school needs the funding in order to do that. How we would bridge that gap would be to involve the community, help the community understand that we need this technology in the classroom to prepare students, because they're going to be the ones that vote. They're going to be the ones that help pass the initiative to get technology into the classroom. And so then once we have technology in the classroom, I would say the next biggest push would be to allow teachers time to fold that technology into their classroom and not have it replace the curriculum, but just help support what they're already doing. Next, students need technology. Most of the careers and colleges that they'll attend will be far more advanced than what I'm providing currently in my classroom. And so I would say that they are not required, or they're not acquiring the skills that they need to be a 21st century student. And they need these abilities to help process and understand content through a different avenue than just paper and pencil. The impact on global economy personally, like it says there, I have a 2-year-old, so my wife and I use Amazon Prime quite a bit, and so I use that for resources in my classroom, and I would also say that YouTube is a video streaming service that I use quite often just to help support and validate content that I'm going through on a regular basis. By changing the classroom, you are creating buy-in, and students in the classroom are going to want to listen to what you have to say. They're going to find it valuable because you are preparing them for the next level, and you are providing them resources that are new and innovative. So it only provides more classroom management and support and aids in your overall delivery of information, which then will trickle into creating stronger students who will attend college and then impact the workforce after that. Disadvantages, obviously funding. Funding's the biggest part that I see is going to be the problem with our school community. Just we don't have the money to buy anything, and things keep breaking, and we don't have the time or energy to fix them. And I would also say that we have quite a few teachers in our district who just don't want to use technology in the classroom, that they've been teaching so long that it will take them too long to change what they are going to do, and they don't want to do that. As far as cyberbullying and other inappropriate internet uses, I haven't experienced it. I didn't experience it growing up, but I would say that in my English class, we talk quite a bit about digital citizenship and what it's like to be online, and the power of publishing and what you say and how it follows you. So we talk at length about it. So students definitely know in my class, but I would say that that's going to be a conversation when I were to hit the community as an administrator asking for support, how we will address those issues. So thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.